Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Friday, July 2nd market update. On the economic front, the non-farm payroll numbers were in line, losing 125,000 jobs, which was kind of actually expected. Not a great number, of course, because last month was like 430 some thousand added, I believe. And of course, the unemployment rate improved to 9.5%. So I guess that's why they call it the employment situation report, because it seems like we're in an employment situation. All right, so next week is pretty light on economic data. Not really a whole lot. We've got the weekly jobless claims, the petroleum, and the nat gas. The weekly reports for those, and that's really it. There's a few other data out there next week, but nothing that should be market moving. So should be a pretty light week for data, so I don't know exactly what's going to push the market around other than the oversold, but that's about it. The dollar and oil were down today. Gold, silver, copper were up. Light sweet crude futures were down another 81 cents to settle at $72.14 a barrel. So looking at the dollar via the UUP, it was almost flat. I mean, it didn't move a whole lot today. Been selling. It looks like we have a little bit of support here. See what happens. It's probably going to depend on the euro and what's going on there as well. Over to the West Texas Intermediate Crude point and figure chart. We have a bearish price objective per the point and figure chart. It calculates this stuff based on the patterns, and it's at 64. We should have some support around, we bounced right around the $70 mark before, so we'll be watching that area next. Is that $70 mark for crude. Let's take a look at the Dow. Dow closed down 46 points to 96.86. The S&P closed down 4 points to 1,022. Nasdaq closed down 9 points to 2,091, and the Russell closed down 5 points to 598. The Dow and the S&P and the Nasdaq were basically all, they were all around down around 4.6 to 4.7%. So it wasn't much change there, pretty equal. The Russell was the weakest again today, though, down 0.96%. Volume across the indices, they weren't as bad as I thought they'd be. They were down about 20 to 30% below average, but I actually thought they might even be worse than that. So the Dow, we're still in this kind of a wedge here. Several. Well, I'll look at the S&P. There's several kind of a patterns. Everyone's been talking about this head and shoulders top. But we still we're there, and we're still holding down here. And the MACD's a little higher here than it was here and here. So I'm kind of promising that I don't think the bottom's in, but it's promising that we should have a little bit of uppage for hopefully a couple of days next week. S&P, SPX. Again, everybody's watching let's go back to 1 year. You're watching the potential of this head and shoulders top here, with the head and the left shoulder and the right shoulder. And I'm also, it looks like there's, a megaphone top possibly here. And this may not play out, but the megaphone top plays out, which means we wouldn't have that much horribly left to fall here down to the 975-ish area. Somewhere like that. And of course, we have a gap way down here. Maybe that's where we're headed. I mean, who knows where we're going to stop. It's going to depend on the economy and on the unemployment rate and the non-farm payrolls. So, that's really what's going to factor. And strengthen Europe, see if Europe stabilizes, which they seem to stabilize some. So we didn't move a whole lot today. We did not take out the low on the S&P. So that was a good thing. I would expect us to retrace, and without even looking at the 60-minute chart, retrace here, at least back up to where we broke down. Maybe up to the 1,040, 1,050 at least. Even if we do roll back over, I would expect us to at least retrace back up to there and see if that's the new resistance area or not. And let's look at the Nasdaq. Similar here. Go out a little further. Similar here, we did not take out the low of yesterday on the Nasdaq, and we're still kind of holding around here. Again, the MACD's not looking too bad. The MACD's a little bit lower here though than it was here. A little concerning on the Nasdaq. I'm sure there's a lot of profits in some of the tech stocks, and I think they've been trying to take them. So that's kind of how that looks here. Let's go to the gold. GLD. GLD is still inside, it had inside of this huge bearish candle. So, did have a little bit of a pop today. So we'll be watching that. Let's look at the MAs. We are below the 50, and we closed right below it still today. Silver. So silver is right on top of the 150-day moving average. We're still holding there. We do have a little bit of a trend line support here as well. And until it makes the next move, then it's either going to break down a little further, or we could retrace back up here. Again, it's a wait and see. Copper is just really weak. We did have a little bounce today though, and kind of ran right into the 20-day moving average. Possible little bit of resistance. The euro had a nice pop in the euro today, but it did lose some ground during the day, so it's made this tiny little candle here, but it was up 0.25%. And the MACD's pretty high, so it's not looking too bad, but the MACD has rolled over around this area before, when we've hit, so we'll be monitoring that as well. Let's see, the VIX. VIX lost 8% today, which is kind of unusual since we were going lower, but the VIX was lower. MACD is rolled back over as well. And let's see what else to look at. XLF. XLF did not take out the ETF for the financials, did not take out the low either. So it looks similar to the S&P. And again, we're in this falling, wedge type pattern until we're not. Let's go over and take a look at the McClellan to tell us how oversold we are or not. So the McClellan still right around where we've been, about minus 53, so we didn't really move much. So we're still right around this, right in the oversold area. We're not that oversold. We can get way down here and get a lot more oversold. Or we've also bounced in here, so either could happen. Let's take a look at the sectors. So 5 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. The biotech index had a large percent gain at 0.59%. Industrial transport index was the weakest, down 1.95%. So they're beating up the transports. Of course, on Fridays, I don't do the chart watch because I will post my weekly watch list typically on Sunday. But since Monday's a holiday, probably be late Monday afternoon because I will be out of town over the weekend. So it'll probably be late Monday afternoon before the weekly watch list gets posted. Let's take a look at the point and figure charts on gold, as I often do on Friday. So here's the gold. Has a price objective. It is on a sell signal now, but we're right around this level of support. We took out the trend line a little bit, but we're still holding there, so we'll be watching that really close. We have not taken out this trend line since, oh Lord, this trend line's been in place since July, August of last year. So long time. So it's a big deal to if we break down and get down here to the 1,130 an ounce level on the gold. Don't know if that will happen. We'll have to wait and see next week. Silver, still on a buy signal on silver. Price objective 29. We're holding right in here, so silver's actually looking all right. Copper. Copper also still on a buy signal. We are about to print a sell signal though. We print $2.84. This 284 right here will go on a sell signal on copper. And let's take a look at nat gas. Nat gas point and figure. So sell signal still. Price objective $1.50. I don't think that'll happen. So we're right here at 483. We will go on a buy signal once we print $6 here. So we have a ways to go. So we closed at the 483 area, got as high as 484. So that's the look for nat gas. Over to the current market signals. There's no change here. Dow, Nasdaq, S&P, all on sell signals, all with price objectives lower than we are. And so the market was really weak today. So hopefully you don't have much in the market right now, and you're just taking small trades, and you're not being hurt. And that's really all I have. And for those of you in the U.S., have a great 4th of July holiday. And for everyone else, have a great weekend.